Welcome to another episode of Home Sweet Home. My name is Rod McCall.
And I'm Scott Nichols.
I don't know whether I should be super excited or super worried, but you know the holidays are coming.
I do.
I mean, we got Thanksgiving and then Christmas and
all the things.
I'm looking forward to the food.
I always look forward to food. I mean, breakfast, lunch, dinner, second breakfast, second lunch.
Thank you, Mr.
Time.
Hobbit.
Midnight snack, whatever.
But you know what I like about the holidays is the holiday type food.
Yeah.
The only time I eat pumpkin pie is during, Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Yes, me too.
Though I got to ask you, do you like pumpkin pie because of the whipped topping?
No, I like it because of the pie.
So you would eat pumpkin pie without whipped topping?
Most of the time.
See, I'm not sure.
I also eat candy corn, so hey.
Hey, but I love candy corn.
See, that's good.
Well, that's why I stole some from you the other day.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things, though, pumpkin pie aside, that I love about the holidays is all the different kinds of seasonal foods.
Yeah.
That come out. My mom makes certain foods only during Christmas. Sherry makes only certain kinds of foods during Christmas. Her mother, I used to never be a cheesecake fan. And
I mean, that's the best.
Oh, well. So, but
that's not a seasonal food, though. That's an all year round, every moment you get kind of food.
Well, her mother makes the best cheesecake ever.
Okay.
And I mean, enough that it converted me from going, ew, I don't like cream cheese, and I don't like cheesecake, to loving the cheesecake that she made. And so, like I say, I look forward to that.
Yeah.
But you know what I dread about the holidays?
The Cowboys losing?
That's almost a given anymore.
Although you're a Chiefs fan, so it really doesn't matter, right?
Yes. Very, a little bit of Magic Mahomes there, baby. What I dread the most sometimes is family.
Okay.
When it comes to the holidays, this is when we get together with our family. And our extended family and extended family. And so when you don't get to see them all the time, it gets a little kind of testy, even when you do see them all the time. And of course, this year we're going to have the joy of the aftermath of the election. And I got to say, my family is very divided and very opinionated on that topic alone. And so it gets kind of hard sometimes when you're with your family to avoid what you might call family drama.
I mean, I think this has been widely, put out there on television shows for ages, on movies. Hopefully it's no secret to anybody that when family gets together for these things, oftentimes it is a disaster in the making.
It can be.
Right. I mean, I've had my own experiences with this. I'm not going to tell any of the stories. I don't know if any of those people are listening. But I don't want to rehash it. But,
sure.
People have their way of things and other people have their ways of things. And when you get together, all kinds of stuff clashes.
Well, and that's kind of where I thought maybe we could talk a little bit today. How to, again, family drama is going to occur because when two or more people get together, you're going to have two or more opinions. Because opinions are like belly buttons. Everybody has one.
Yeah. Some people have more than that.
More than one belly button?
No, opinions.
Oh. Okay. I was getting a little worried there.
I don't know. That would be a medical question. I have no idea.
Well, hey, maybe. Anyway, sorry. Don't want to go down that sidebar. So again, I love my family.
Yeah.
Okay. I love my sisters. I love my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, my nieces, my nephews, all of them. But sometimes it can get a little challenging. And like you said, like you had one, we had a Jerry Springer family event. A few years, it's been a number of years ago, I guess already, but, and like you, I ain't going to rehash it, but it was one of those things that you kind of never thought you would experience.
Right.
And yeah, it truly was an experience. It was eye-opening and educational. Look, it's okay to disagree. It's okay to have difference of opinions.
Yeah.
But it's finding common ground to talk about. Trying to, and if you understand that, Uncle Joe is going to be, Uncle Joe, all right, or Aunt Sue is going to be just Aunt Sue, and,
Sure.
You know that, you accept that, and you can, try and maybe keep that in mind when you're together.
Yeah.
I cannot talk politics anymore. My dad and I used to always be able to talk politics, and it was kind of fun. It was kind of rational conversations. But now that he's gone, it's really, really hard in my family, depending on who's there, who we can talk to.
Right.
So yeah, politics and religion and, the practicing.
Those are the two things that it used to be, right? You just don't talk politics and religion, and
yeah,
life is a little nicer, right?
Well,
because those are highly opinionated subjects.
And our personalities.
And you're not going to convince the other person of your way, especially not at Thanksgiving. Right?
No,
or Christmas, right?
No.
So
no.
It's sort of like I see this on social media all the time. People, whether it's family or friends or whatever, and I used to do this, and I stopped, but posting things out there that are seemingly trying to convince somebody of something political or religious or whatever, and it's like I don't even want to look at it.
No.
That's not going to change anybody's mind. So all it is like you standing on a street corner and screaming your opinion while somebody stands 2 inches from you screaming theirs, and nobody's any wiser or better off or change their mind for it. And so I'd rather talk about how the Cowboys lose all the time.
And
which I think everybody can get down with.
Sure, sure.
It's facts.
Well, we've got 28 years of historical record to prove it. Because to go with what you're saying, or to piggyback on that, when you're dealing with family and, the conversations start going down the rabbit hole, it can be emotionally draining, physically draining, and even spiritually draining.
Yeah.
And family time is to be quality time, good time, memory making time. And so
it's going to be memory making.
Well, yeah, I like
no matter how you do it, it's going to make memories.
Well, I like the fond memories, the ones that when you retell those stories, it makes people laugh, not make people cringe.
Yeah.
So
I have a few stories like that might do one or the other for you. I'm not sure which.
Okay. All right. Well, we can share one.
It'll make me laugh.
Well, yeah. So I found a news article that provided a few suggestions on how we can cope, manage, deal with our family to prevent drama, or at the very best, head it off at the pass.
Okay.
And I think this is as much for me, and I'm going to have to do a lot of these just for me, all right, because I can be an instigator without trying really hard. I know that might sound as a surprise to you.
I have to try hard not to be an instigator. So.
Okay, that's my point.
Right.
And, there's a time to stir the pot, and there's a time to not stir the pot. So
on social media, we call that just keep scrolling.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Right. Just keep scrolling. Don't stop there.
Okay.
Keep going.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So one of the suggestions made was when Uncle Joe is talking about, politics, or Aunt Sue's complaining about the food you made, it might be a good idea just to take a breath.
Yeah.
All right. Before you give that knee-jerk response of, well, at least I didn't vote that turkey, or some other negative comment, or complain, well, if you don't like the damn food, don't eat it. Take a breath.
Okay.
Take a breath and just kind of inhale, count, exhale, and think of, either A, ignore the comment, or if this is the 7th time they've said it, try and think of a more neutral or less charged response.
Yeah.
Well, no, Uncle Joe, you know what? I appreciate your opinion. And if I had your experiences in life, I might think the same way. All right.
Sure.
I mean, I will say that this is extremely hard for me. And those that know me well know that I'm a shoot first, shoot last, shoot a lot in between, and then apologize later.
Right.
So maybe to avoid the apologizing and the shooting, again, for me, take a breath.
I mean, I find myself just asking, does it even matter?
Mm-hmm.
Do I care?
Well,
and I think for a lot of it, I don't care.
Yeah.
You can have your opinion. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, that's your thing. It doesn't have to affect me. You're certainly entitled to it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to affect me. I don't have to let it affect me. And so I can do that. I can just take a breath and just maybe not even say anything. Just move on. You don't like my food? You don't have to eat it.
Mm-hmm.
More for me.
Exactly. And so I don't think any of these that were in this article were earth shattering.
Sure.
But it is always nice to kind of think about and process again, as we are about to spend a whole lot of time over the next number of weeks with family. So here's the next one. Set boundaries. We've talked about this on multiple episodes about setting boundaries to, those family members that like to, again, stir the pot.
Sure.
And just say, hey, look, you know what? When we're here together, we can play games. We can talk about past, family get-togethers, past games, past whatever. We can talk about, hey, the strategy of, this, playing Monopoly. In our family, Monopoly games are fun. A rousing game of BS is a lot of fun. And of course, it's not a family gathering if you haven't pulled out and played a game of spoons.
Oh, I mean, that's awesome.
I mean,
I have not played spoons at a regular family gathering. I've done it with youth groups. I mean, we've even drawn blood playing spoons. I mean, and spoons aren't very sharp, so that's
the claws connected to the
right?
people grabbing for the
spoons. Spoons. We need to do that at a faculty thing.
Okay.
And so I mean, to me, Monopoly's out of bounds.
Okay.
I'm not playing that game.
Okay.
That is just a hotbed of fighting. Right?
It can be.
I mean, I love it for its capitalistic, example as an economics teacher and a government teacher, but that's just out of bounds for me. I just don't want to play that.
Okay. Well, but that's what you can say, but as you get together and somebody says, hey, let's play some games. Okay, we can play whatever you want, but you know what? Let's try and avoid the Monopoly fiasco of 2003.
So we can play whatever you want, but not Monopoly.
Yeah, but
so
you would
everything you want except the other thing.
Yeah.
But it is good to set that boundary. You should get to have a say. Like, what can we agree on? And for me, I'll play chess all day long. Let's have a tournament.
Yeah.
I would do that all day long.
And
I do that with my 5-year-old grandson.
Ooh, yeah.
That's something that would be fun.
Well, in doing so, it can help prevent some of those triggers that can create those unhappy, uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, so I like that. I don't know that I've ever done that one of setting boundaries, but
right.
But I as I think about it, okay, we can do that. We can definitely set boundaries. Maybe
I think a good thing, like we do family game nights every once in a while. Yeah, usually once a month or once every 2 months. And part of that is, we'll be at one or the other's house, and we'll have like 3 games. We'll bring out 3 games and say which one do we want to play.
Okay,
and we can usually find an agreement on one of those 3 games.
Oh, okay.
And then you play it. Right? Rather than just be like, hey, let's play Monopoly.
Sure.
Right? Hey, let's play a game.
Uh-huh.
Here's some options. Right?
Perfect. And that's but I think that would fit in setting boundaries.
Yeah.
And I think it's okay. I think, I'm thinking I might make this, statement that when we get together for Thanksgiving, I don't want to, let's just not talk about the election. And I think in my family, that might be something that I'll strongly suggest. I don't know how many of my nieces, nephews are going to be there. I don't. But I think that would be an example of setting boundaries.
I'm happy to not even think of it right now.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. What election?
The one that was a little while ago.
So here's something that I'd not considered before. And that is have somebody as the mediator. And they could act as a neutral third-party referee. How you would choose that, I don't know.
That sounds interesting.
But it could, maybe
you got to be careful. That person might actually be an instigator.
Well, that is true. That is true. In my family, or getting together with my mom and my siblings and their kids, I think Sherry would make a good mediator.
Yeah. I suppose.
I don't know that she would want to, but I think it would be that would be an example of, pick somebody that's maybe an in-law. And an in-law works better than an outlaw. But yeah, consider, who have a designated referee, but then the referee can't get involved. So I don't know. I don't know how realistic that is or how feasible.
It's an interesting idea. I don't know how that works at a Thanksgiving meal, but
true.
It's Thanksgiving celebration. I think those are just inherently crazy, right?
Oh, it can be.
I got to say, I haven't. Other than my own kids coming to my house, I haven't had a Thanksgiving with family outside of that for 17 years.
Oh, wow.
So probably actually 18 years now. So with this upcoming Thanksgiving. So I don't really have a number of these problems to begin with. Maybe my kids do.
Okay.
Right. Maybe because, who knows? And they're not telling me, right? Except when I don't want to play the game.
Yeah.
And they get upset sometimes, or I'm upset because I don't want to play the games. Right? That seems to be like the thing with us. Or I want to watch, the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
hey, because you know what?
Or I want to watch Detroit. And oddly enough, this year, Detroit is good, and the Cowboys aren't.
No, but you know what? The Cowboys can always surprise. That's why you watch. That's like gambling.
Who knows, right?
You always gamble because you just might win.
They might win on Thanksgiving.
They might.
But the Lions are going to give your Chiefs a run for their money.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, Magic Mahomes, baby. Bank on him. Him and all the Swifties. So. But anyway, so here's another one. And this one I find good. And it requires a combination with another suggestion they had.
Okay.
And it's called listening.
All right.
And what they're suggesting, you're listening to Uncle Joe again, that he's talking about politics. And even if you've suggested, let's not, and he goes there anyway, before you jump his case, listen to what Uncle Joe is saying. Not with the intention, listen to understand rather than listening to respond. Because here's the idea. I try this, and sometimes I'm more successful than others.
Yeah.
But if you listen to somebody who thinks differently than you, you're not going to change your mind any more than you're going to change theirs.
Right.
But maybe as you listen, again, with the idea to understand rather than respond, maybe, just maybe, you can better understand that individual. You might be able to learn something. Or you
might learn something.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly, yeah.
You don't have to agree. You don't have to change your mind, but you can learn something. There's something to be learned from virtually every interaction, conversation, ideas that are put out there. You can learn something from it, even if it's just that you learned that you do completely disagree. But you don't have to jump on them for the fact that you disagree with them.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yeah. And I mean, what you can possibly do by taking a breath and listening, not only might you learn something, you might discover that there's some kind of common ground between you and Uncle Joe.
Imagine that.
And maybe you're not as far off from each other's point of view or perspective.
Right.
And instead of being adversaries, you might find that, you may not be bosom buddies. You may not link arms and, sing Kumbaya together, but, you may not be at each other's throat and dread each other as often or
and
as
you're probably
much.
not going to have to see each other for another year anyway. So the next time we kill a turkey and eat it up.
Yeah. So, I liked that idea. And I think that works. The hardest part is putting yourself in that frame of mind that you're going to listen to understand.
Right.
And like I say, that's why I say I think it works well with the take a breath suggestion of before you respond, before you give that knee-jerk reactive.
Yeah. I think this is especially important in this day and age where we don't hear other sides of things. We don't hear other ideas. We don't do those things. We spend time on social media and we just keep hearing the same thing over and over and over that we want to hear because that's how the algorithm works. So, taking a moment to listen to something intentionally that's not necessarily your belief, and you don't have to go into a rage over it. You know that other people believe other things. That's cool, right?
Sure.
You don't have to be in a rage over it. You can still believe what you believe, but not have to worry about it.
Yeah. And I mean, there are so many things that you can do with family. I mean, you're related by George, and enjoy the time.
I mean, George has nothing to do with my family, but
ha ha ha. Okay, smarty pants. But no. I want
to make that clear.
All right, I didn't think about that before I said it. But I mean, again, family, and I have come to truly appreciate and love my family.
Yeah.
I will admit that sometimes I get a little too judgmental with some of them.
Yeah.
And I shame on me because you know what? They're my family.
Yeah.
And regardless of all else, I love them. And we should, this should be a time of the year that we embrace and enjoy our family and not dread the potential drama that may come. I got a niece on Sherry's side that's getting married. So we get to have, not only with Thanksgiving and Christmas, we got a wedding.
Wow.
And so
like
that'll
trifecta.
Sure. And so that'll be kind of fun. And it's just, like I say, family can be a whole lot of fun or it can be a whole lot of mess.
Mm-hmm.
But family's family and you can't get rid of them.
Well, unfortunately, you don't get to choose them usually.
No.
Some people do get to choose some, right?
Mm-hmm.
Based on marriage or whatever. But, by and large, especially if they are the older members of your family and you're in the younger set, you didn't get to choose them. You didn't get to, you don't really have a say in that.
No.
So, but you can make the best of every situation and, try to just make it pleasant.
Well, and that's why I thought that these ideas, these suggestions, would be worth going over as we head into the next few weeks of family bonding, quality family time.
Yeah.
That can truly indeed be quality.
Sure.
And I don't know. I've got maybe a different perspective. But I love spending time, getting to spend more time with my nieces and nephews, especially as they have gotten so much older. I've got 2 nephews that are 40, and it's kind of like, holy cow, how can I have nephews that are 40?
Yeah, because you're old, like me.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't feel old.
It doesn't. That doesn't matter.
Well,
old isn't about feelings.
Well, it's chronological,
right?
but I
have a nephew who's 42.
Really?
So.
Oh man, you really are old.
Yes, I am.
So, but I love spending time with them. I love, learning what they're doing. They're married. A lot of them are married or getting married, starting to have kids.
Yeah.
On Sherry's side, they're getting married. They're graduating high school, graduating college, and it's kind of, exciting to see what they're going to do and where they're going to go. And,
yeah.
Instead of me being judgmental, I think I'm going to take a few more deep breaths and listen more to understand than to respond and judge unfairly.
It sounds perfect. Good way to approach the holidays.
Well, because that along with pie and cheesecake and, my mom at Thanksgiving makes, it's an old German recipe, but it's pork and sauerkraut. I love it. It's the only time of year I get it. Special kinds of cookies. I think
my Thanksgiving day, it revolves around having some a hot drink, hot chocolate or something.
Oh yeah, hot cider.
Watching a parade on TV.
Yeah.
Eating
Love
some
that.
Food, playing a game, watching some football. It's a pretty relaxing day.
Oh well, for us,
overall.
we do a whole weekend. We do Thursday turkey and the whole stuff, and then on Friday we have a big family bonfire.
And so far this year, it's just going to be 3 of us, so it's going to be nice and quiet, and
Okay, well, if you change your mind, you can come to Arkansas with me.
I don't. I'm good. I'll stay home.
Okay,
that works for me.
Well, then more dessert for me.
But just very relaxing, right?
And nothing wrong with a lot of relaxing. I could imagine you in an Al Bundy pose.
Yeah, maybe. I don't need to put that picture in anybody's head. Right.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's where we'll put an end. I wish you all a wonderful time with your family. May it be enjoyable, pleasant, and positive memories.
Yeah.
no family drama. And if you do, well, try some of our ideas and, well, let us know if they work for you.
Well, enjoy the holidays.
All right. Well, until next time, I'm Rod.
I'm Scott.
See ya.
Bye-bye.